Hi everyone, in this video I'd like to talk about how to solve the equation x divided by 5 plus x divided by 7 equals 1. So we've got fractions in here and we can certainly work with them, but fractions are a little bit uncomfortable to work with, and so the sooner we can clear those out of our problem, the better we'll feel about this equation. So we basically have two ways to proceed. So the first way to proceed would be to, I'll label it option 1. And this would be to find a least common denominator. So I'm going to go through and find a least common denominator. My denominators are 5 and 7. So the least common denominator between the 5 and the 7 would be a 35. So that's going to be my new desired denominator. So let's work on converting both of these fractions to have a denominator of 35. So x over 5, or x fifths. If I want to get a denominator of 35, what do I need to multiply by to get me that 35? Well, I need to multiply the bottom by 7. If I do that to the denominator, I better also do it to the numerator. Otherwise, I'm going to change the value of that fraction. So up in the top here, I'm going to have 7x. Same thing down here. When I have x 7ths, or x divided by 7, and I want to convert that to a fraction with the denominator of 35, I need to multiply it by, in this case, 5. If I do it to the bottom, I'm going to do it to the top. And so in the top, I will have 5x. So if I rewrite my problem now, instead of x fifths plus x 7ths equals 1, my new revised fraction here is going to be 7x over 35, right? That was my first piece of work I did here. Plus x over 7, we figured out that that was equal to 5x over 35, so I'm going to replace that, equals 1. Working down the page, let's see, I have a common denominator, so I can put both of my values, 7x plus 5x over 35. And now I add in the numerator, and I have 12x over 35 equals 1. Now again, I've got fractions there. I'd like to get rid of them. And to get rid of this division by 35, I can multiply both sides of my equation by 35. So I'll do that on both sides. On the left, these 35s cancel. And I've got 12x equals, on the right-hand side, 35. So far, so good. But now to solve 12x equals 35, I need to divide by 12 on both sides. Moving over here on my screen, I have x equals 35 over 12. And if I go off into a corner here and I try to simplify this, I need to go 35 divided by 12, or 35 in the house, 12 out in front. 12 goes into 35 2 times, and I have a remainder. I'll write remainder of 11. A better way of writing that would be x equals 2 and the remainder 11 over 12. Okay, that was fun, but I want to show another way to work on this problem. And if you're working in my math lab, you might see this option coming through. So in this option, the book multiplies by 35 right away. That's their first maneuver. And the reason, or the motivation for doing this multiplication by 35 on both sides is this idea of wanting to clear out the fractions. And the only way I'm going to clear out these fractions is if I multiply something that gets rid of a 5 and gets rid of a 7. And so multiplying by 35 would cancel both of those values. So let's do that. On the left-hand side of the equation, I have x fifths plus x sevenths equals 1. And I'm going to multiply on the left, let me get a different color here, by 35. And I'm going to multiply the entire left-hand side, that's why I need the big parentheses, by 35. And if I do it to the left, I better do it to the right. All right, now on the left-hand side, I need to distribute 35. So I'm going to write that out in all the gory details. I've got 35 times x over 5 plus, again, distributing 35 times x over 7. And then on the right-hand side, I can tidy this up. 1 times 35 is just 35. Now, multiplying my fractions here, I'm going to have 35x over 5. Multiplying here, 35x over 7 equals 35. And now I can cancel because 35 is the same as 5 times 7. And so those 5s cancel, and I'm just left with 7x for my first fraction. In the second fraction, 35, again, that's 5 times 7x over 7, and those 7s will cancel. So I'm just left with 5x. All right. If I was working on paper, I'd go down the page, but I'm on a screen, so I'll just come over to the right side here. We are left with a 7x plus 5x equals 35. On the left-hand side, that's 12x equals 35, and dividing by 12 on both sides gives me x equals 35 over 12. How many twelfths is that? Well, let's see. I have 12 twelfths, you could say. I have another 12 twelfths, and I have 11 twelfths. In other words, I have 1 plus another 1 plus 11 twelfths. In other words, I have 2 and 11 twelfths. The other way of getting that, of course, is to divide, and 12 goes into 35 2 times with a remainder of 11, and so we write 11 over 12. I like writing it out as the fraction because you can really see the pieces there. Technically, the 35 over 12 is correct, but a lot of times we are asked to simplify our answer. And in some cases, you can write a decimal approximation, so you could type this into a calculator if you wanted to. So it just depends on what format. You know, like it's when you order airline reservations and they want your phone number with the parentheses on the area code or not. It's just different times they want the answer in different formats.